Hello everyone and welcome to another review. Today we're going to go ahead and review a fragrance that was released in the year of 2015. The fragrance we're talking about is called Nautica Life Energy. Now, Nautica Life Energy was a release that I remember when it came out, and I was kind of like, all right, I want to check this out, only because I love Nautica Voyage so much. And so I figured, all right, I want to get my hands on this, and I finally ended up getting my hands on a bunch of samples to go ahead and review, so here it is. Now, the bottle design, I actually really like for it. I think it's a great bottle design. You can see from the pictures, it's very elegant, kind of goes along with the Nautica theme, so kudos to them, they did a really good job on that. Now, it's available in two main sizes. It's available in a 3.4 and a 1.7. 3.4 is going to run you upper 60s, $69. I've seen it retail. And the 1.7 is going to run you $45, I believe, retail, or $48, something along that line. Now, keep in mind, you can find this very easily from many discount sites. This is heavily discounted at this point, and you can find both sizes for roughly $12, $15 if you do a quick search around. It's not hard to find them. Go ahead, take a look, and you will see them that heavily discounted. So let's get right into the actual scent for this fragrance. Now, the notes of this fragrance are listed on screen. The key thing to remember and to remind yourself of this fragrance, when I first smelled this, man, this is generic as heck. This is as basic as it gets for a fragrance. This is the smell, essentially when you spray it on, this is the smell that you get for a lot of colognes that kind of dry down. You know, that musky, woodsy, citrusy, kind of amalgamous smell that you get after a fragrance has been on your, or a lot of these mainstream fragrances have been on your skin for a while and it just kind of sits there. Well, that's what you get for this fragrance throughout the entire thing. Now, it does have shades of Nautica Voyage in it, like that C note you can kind of get from it, but really what is really messing this fragrance up to me, I've said this many times before, is that musk note. Sometimes when fragrances use that musk note and that citrus and that same kind of musk citrus wood combination, it turns into something that, one, I don't like, and two, it's just used to all heck, basically. So the fragrance does not change. It's very linear in that aspect, and it remains the same throughout the entire fragrance. So I was not a fan of this fragrance. I tried it more times than I would care to admit, but I just could not like this fragrance. It is just not jumping out in any way, shape, or form. Nautica Voyage is by far a far superior fragrance. In fact, most fragrances that fit the same category, that would fall into the same category, are just far better. Look at any of the Dior's, look at any of the Chanel's. They're all just so much better, and they accomplish the same thing. Now, spray-wise, I usually go about 2-3 sprays of this sucker. You can overspray this, and you will probably get a headache if you overspray it. So be careful. Do not spray too much of this fragrance on. This is a good fragrance for any age group. Its performance is average at best. It's going to last on your skin anywhere between 4 and 6 hours. It's going to be 4 and 6 hours of that dried out, inducing type of a fragrance. So not much there on that actual scent. Now, in terms of its where you can wear it and the season, the one thing that this fragrance really does have going for it is you can pretty much wear this anywhere. These type of a fragrance you can kind of toss on and be confident walking around that it'll fit that occasion. Now, whether or not I think it's good, completely different story, but you can put it on any occasion as well as any season. You can kind of wear this one on. These type of fragrances have traditionally been worn in warmer weather, so spring, summer, but really you can get away with this one anywhere you please. And finally, compliments, donuts, none. No compliments, and even when I had people smell it on my hand, on paper, they were just like, it didn't really do it for them. Not a single person was able to love this fragrance. Actually, not true. There were 2 people who, long story short, yes, they thought that it was okay as a fragrance, and one of them actually liked it. So in terms of unsolicited, though, I didn't get any compliments. So this is not one that is going to be a compliment getter, and I can tell just smelling it, it's not really a huge or heavy compliment getter. Now, if I'm going to go ahead and give this fragrance a rating, I give this fragrance a rating 1 out of 5 stars. It's not a good smelling scent in my opinion. It's not a bad smelling scent, but it's not good enough to even get half of a star to me for that. So it doesn't get any stars for that. It's not original. The value, on the other hand, is really where I'm going to give it at least half of a star, because you can find it so much cheaper now. And I mean, 12, 14 bucks for a fragrance. If something's that low, it's at least got to get some marks for it. Its retail price, I would definitely not recommend purchasing at, just because to me, it's just not worth it, at least at that price point. As far as compliments go, again, no compliments for this particular fragrance, and it is not a compliment getter and not something that's going to go out. So yeah, that's essentially it. So performance-wise, though, I am going to give it, you know, half of a star for that, just because its performance, yes, you can kind of pursue it as average, and it's not a bad performing fragrance in that respect. All right, so 1 out of 5 stars is my rating for it. Not really a good fragrance, and I wouldn't really recommend it. As an alternative, I would highly suggest some of the other Nautica fragrances like Nautica Voyage. I would suggest looking at some of the more citrusy ones from the Dior line, from the Chanel line. You know, there are just so many fragrances that I can think of off the top of my head that would really fit this mold and, you know, fit that niche. Sorry. All right. So thank you guys. Let me know what your thoughts are on this particular fragrance. Thank you guys. Take care of yourselves, and you guys have a great day.